William Henry Harrison, an American military official and lawmaker, was the 10th leader of the U.S. 1841, the most seasoned president to be chosen at that point. On his 32nd day, he turned into the first to pass on in office, serving the most brief residency in U.S. official history. Provide him with a barrel of hard juice and settle a benefits of $2,000 a year on him. And my statement for it: a majority rule paper stupidly sneered. He will sit by the side of ocean coal, fire, and study moral way of thinking. The Whigs, holding on this political slip-up, in 1840 introduced their competitor William Henry Harrison as a basic boondocks Indian warrior, living in a log lodge and drinking juice, in sharp differentiation to a highborn champagne-tasting Van Buren. Harrison was, as a matter of fact, a scion of the Virginia grower privileged. He was brought into the world at Berkeley in 1773. He concentrated on works of art and history at Hampton Sidney School. Then, at that point, started the investigation of medication in Richmond. Out of nowhere, that very year, 1791, Harrison exchanged interests. He got a commission as ensign in the primary infantry of the Normal Armed Force, and went to the Northwest, where he consumed quite a bit of his time on Earth. In the mission against the Indians, Harrison filled in as confidant to General Frantic Anthony Wayne at the skirmish of Fallen Woods, which opened the greater part of the Ohio region to settlement. In the wake of leaving the military in 1798, he became Secretary of the Northwest Domain, was its most memorable agent to Congress, and got regulation partitioning the region into the Northwest and Indiana regions. In 1801 he became legislative leader of the Indiana region. Serving 12 years, his prime errand as lead representative was to acquire title to Indian terrain so pilgrims could push forward into the wild. At the point when the Indians fought back, Harrison was liable for guarding the settlements. The danger against pioneers became serious in 1809. A smooth and lively tribal leader, Tecumseh, with his strict sibling, the Prophet, started to reinforce an Indian confederation to forestall further infringement. In 1811 Harrison got consent to go after the alliance. While Tecumseh was away looking for additional partners, Harrison drove around 1,000 men toward the Prophet's town. Unexpectedly, before daybreak on November 7, the Indians went after his camp on Tippecanoe Stream. After weighty battling, Harrison rebuffed them, yet all the same experienced 190 dead and injured. The skirmish of Tippecanoe, whereupon Harrison's popularity was to rest, disturbed Tecumseh's alliance, however neglected to lessen Indian assaults. By the spring of 1812, they were again threatening the outskirts. In the conflict of 1812 Harrison won more military shrubs when he was provided the Order of the Military in the Northwest with the position of Brigadier General. At the skirmish of the Thames, north of Lake Erie, on October 5, 1813, he crushed the consolidated English and Indian powers, and killed Tecumseh. The Indians dispersed, at absolutely no point in the future to offer serious obstruction in what was then called the Northwest. From there on Harrison got back to non-military personnel life. The Whigs, needing a public legend, designated him for president in 1840. He won by a larger part of under 150,000, yet cleared the constituent college 234 to 60. At the point when he showed up in Washington in February 1841, Harrison let Daniel Webster alter his debut address, resplendent with old-style suggestions. Webster got a few erasures, flaunting in a jaunty style that he had killed 17 Roman proconsuls as dead as purifies, all of them. Webster had motivation to be satisfied, for while Harrison was nationalistic in his standpoint, he underlined in his debut that he would be respectful to the desire of individuals as communicated through Congress. However, before he had been in office a month, he came down with a bug that formed into pneumonia. On April 4, 1841, he passed on minus the primary president to kick the bucket in office minus, and with him kicked the bucket the Whig program.